Okay, so I took off the driver's side rear wheel, and what's good about this is that this fuel tank has a drain bolt, which is awesome, especially in this case because the tank is completely filled. So I have 3 of these buckets, these 5-gallon buckets that are new, right? Because I don't want to get any dirt or anything in them. This is a 19 millimeter. See, it's not even in that. Yeah, I'll just use my hand. Now, I'm a little nervous because, let me get the other buckets ready. So what I don't want is that bolt just fly out when it gets to the end, because I'm gonna have to change buckets here, because this tank is 17 gallons. That's what I didn't want. Okay, she's a draining. I got 3 buckets here, and I don't think it's full completely. I think it's got about 15 gallons in it, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, all the gas is out. I was really diligent to not let the gas get dirty. If one bucket was filling up and it was looking kind of dirty, before it got too high, I would switch it with a clean bucket and then clean out the dirty bucket. So, because I don't want to put this back in the car if it's all dirty. So I put the drain bolt back in, and it's just, I think that's Teflon. It's some sort of plastic. So don't use any wrenches. I just did it by hand, and it was plenty. So don't over torque that. All right, now we're gonna go inside and remove the rear seat. All right, so it's kind of hard to get a good shot in here. But we're gonna remove the rear seat. You just pull up on it until it unpops from the bottom. Unpops, and then you can just pull it out like that. Super simple. Okay, so all the way on the passenger side, we have this connector. That's the fuel pump connector. So we're gonna just go in there. Let's just take this tab out. There we go. And then this should come out. There. And then I'm just gonna put the tab back in. Alright, so we're gonna disconnect the negative battery cable, just to be on the safe side. There we go. Thread this back on. So next, on either side of the sway, this is the rear sway bar. There's these straps that attach it to the body. We're going to remove those. These are 15 millimeter. I think that nut is spinning in there, guys. Alright guys, check it out. Look what's happening. So, go up to where this bolt goes through. You can see that there's a hole rusted all the way through. And this is the little, I guess it's just a squared nut that stays stationary. But since, since the wall is rusted, you can see it move. So this actually might be pretty good, because what I think I might be able to do, clean this up really well, and then I could just weld this nut directly to the steel right here. I don't have to rip open the subframe or anything. So this is a setback, but that's what I'm gonna have to do. Alright, I finally got it. It took forever. What I had to do, first, 3 seconds after I said I would weld it, I thought to myself, what are you thinking? You can't weld it. You just drain the gas tank. There's gas fumes everywhere. You have an empty gas tank filled with fumes. So yeah, it wasn't comfortable welding or making any sparks, even though that would have been the easiest thing to do. I could have just went into that little hole and just zipped it, and it would have been fine. So what I had to do, since I couldn't weld or even cut anything, because I don't want to make any sparks, I went in to the trunk behind and actually cut through the floor to get to this nut. It's just a square nut. And it was spinning in there, so I just jammed this pry bar in there so it couldn't spin, and then just used my impact full power, and after a while it finally came out. I also let it soak in PB Blaster. So my hopes is that the other side doesn't do the same thing on me, because that would really suck. So the other side's spinning on me now too, except it's the other bolt. It's not the big long one that goes through the body. It's the other one. So for that one, is actually, let's see if I can see that. You can actually reach through with a wrench and hold the nut. So I'm going to do that off camera because it's a little cramped in here. And then that'll free the sway bar and we can sort of pull it back out of the way. Right, so what I did was I waited a full 24 hours. Then I put a fan up to blow out if there's any fumes left. Put a fan and blew out the shop for a while and left it on, and then I cut the bolt off with a grinder on the other side. So I'll have to deal with that later. So now we're taking these off, and that'll get the sway bar out of here. So let's, there we go. I gotta tell you guys, my patience for recording this video are not, it's running out, you know. So this is good though. The strap bolt came out pretty well with an impact. It's a 13 millimeter. I got that one. Now we're gonna try this one over here, and I'm pretty sure that's deer hair because my girlfriend had a certain situation with a deer, and anyway, that's pretty funny. So let me try the other one, see if that comes off as easily. So before we take the other strap bolt down, we have to remove these clamps, and they are rusted to the point where you can't even use them. So we're cutting them free with side cutters. Man, this job is not for the faint of heart. There we go. Okay, we can remove this. That came out pretty easy actually. So these can be really tricky. You're gonna need a big pair of pliers for this. First thing I want to try to do is see if I can twist it with this. I'm just gonna grab it and we're gonna see if we can twist it. There we go. Oh! Interesting. Hand there so we can catch that gas that comes out. So let's see here. Alright, we got it to fully turn. There we go. Okay, I took out this bolt so I can move the filler neck around. And then, alright, I'm just pulling the filler neck back, and it's coming off right here. There. Man, this is just fighting me every step of the way. Alright, so now I'm gonna take off that other bolt. Sorry. I know you couldn't see anything, so that's the best I could do. So before you let the tank drop, you have to go on the other side of it and remove these 3 lines. The middle one is the fuel line, and then the other 2 are evaps. The evaps you can just pull apart, but the middle fuel line you have to just push these gray tabs in, and then this one can just slide out after you push these gray tabs in. Also, before you let it drop, there's a grommet here. Just push this down so that this wire can pass through the body of the car. Alright guys, I don't really have enough room to get a really wide shot on this, but this is the best I can do. So we're gonna get this tank out of here. I have it on a jack. Now it should be all disconnected. This heat shield. Alright, so right now the only thing holding me back is I need to remove this strap right here. Is actually attached to a exhaust shield, which is attached to the tank. So I'm going to remove this bolt right here that the strap goes up to, and I'll probably just end up replacing both of these straps. I mean, they're in pretty rough shape. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do off camera because it really sucks recording under here. I don't think I can get you a good shot. She's out. It was, as soon as I got that back strap bolt loose, it came right out. So now we're going to work on removing the fuel pump. But what I want to do first is, one, I want to cover all the places that can allow dirt to go in. Actually, I should have done that from the beginning. Actually, so if you're doing that, do this. In the front, the nozzle where the filler pipe connects is, I think I'm going to just put a plastic bag over that, or like stuff some shop towels in there. And same with these fuel lines in the back that we disconnected. I should cover those up. And then I'm just going to spray off with compressed air, you know, all this dirt and stuff around here, because I don't want any of that dirt falling into the tank, because that would be bad. So I'm going to do that now. I actually just ran out of towels, so I'm going to have to go to run to the store to get some. But that's what I'm doing. I'll bring you guys back when I'm done. Sorry, I didn't have the camera on when I was spraying it. I guess I forgot to press record. But I just put these shop towels and then a bag and then rubber bands on the lines and on the front part here where the filler neck goes. And then I just sprayed it off really good with compressed air. So now we have to remove this big nut that goes around here that holds the fuel pump on. Now to do that, there's a special tool. You could probably figure something out without using the special tool, but I found it on eBay and I think it was like $12. You know, it was super cheap, and I said, why not buy it? So I don't have that right now. I have to wait until it comes in the mail. So what I'm gonna do is, in the meantime, I'm gonna get a buddy of mine, because there's still some fuel in this that wasn't able to come out, and we're gonna pick it up, drain the residual fuel, and then I'll probably, what I'm gonna do is bring it upstairs, keep this upstairs, and then work on fixing the whole like nut and bolt situation going on with the sway bar. I'm going to need to cut into the body, remove the nut that's in there, put another one in, maybe weld that on the body. It's got to be, maybe I'll make another video just for that. So That's what I'm going to do, and in the next scene, you will see me with everything done and with the special tool.